So basically, Disney is trying to get us back, of course. We're bringing young men, aka Gen Z, back to the brand in a meaningful way. Specifically, original concepts as well, okay? This is the same company that ruined Marvel and Star Wars. Yeah, I don't really pity you, Disney, okay? You purchased two of the biggest franchises and turned them to dust, basically. Okay? You had two of the biggest franchises, Star Wars and Marvel, and Star Wars, you know, was in the top five franchises in history, highest grossing franchises of all time, as well. Okay. Yeah, but it is just absolutely ridiculous that Disney really thought they would be able to get away with this. Like, oh, we're gonna take two of the biggest male franchises, Marvel and Star Wars. Okay, there's a reason why, like people like me, I really don't give a crap about Marvel anymore. You want to know why I don't give a crap about Marvel anymore? Because Disney ruined Marvel. I don't ever think like when it comes to pop culture, I don't ever think about Marvel and Star Wars. I think of Mario and Sonic and stuff. I know people are like, but you just a boring. You just don't understand real men's entertainment. Okay, but those are the IPs I like. Okay, Marvel and Star Wars, unfortunately, could not replace Nintendo, could not replace Sonic, could not replace all the IPs I like because guess what? I saw how they ruined Marvel and Star Wars. The thing is, Disney, no, not Disney, Nintendo has never ruined Mario for me, okay? Nintendo has never destroyed Mario, okay? I know there are some retcons that I don't like Nintendo making Mario and Peach just friends, but Mario games are still fun. They're still entertaining. They're still fun to play, okay, as well, okay? Mario Kart World is still a fun game, okay? It's not, a boring game, let's just say, like the walking simulators on the PS5, okay, as well, okay? You know, but Disney, the last Marvel movie I watched, it was called Deadpool and Wolverine. Okay, I haven't watched any Marvel movies since. I probably won't watch any more. Deadpool and Wolverine was so disappointing, okay, of a movie. Okay, it was so disappointing of a movie. Okay, absolutely one of the most disappointing movies of all time. Deadpool and Wolverine was, okay, one of the most disappointing movies of all time, okay? I know their fan, Marvel fans can get the fucking pitchforks turned towards me because it made $1 billion, okay? I don't care. I watched Deadpool and Wolverine, and it was one of the most disappointing movies I have ever had the displeasure to watch, okay? As well. Maybe I should do a whole video why Deadpool was such a disappointing movie. And maybe I should just watch it again so I explain it in detail what makes the movie so disappointing as well compared to Deadpool 1 and 2. Okay? Again, Deadpool 1 and 2 were not made by Disney. That's probably why Deadpool and Wolverine sucked so much. Okay? As well. Okay? And Star Wars, well, we don't even need to talk about what happened to Star Wars. Okay? Disney basically ruined the sequel trilogy with horrible writing, horrible characters, boring scenes. Okay? There is nothing interesting about the sequel trilogy of Star Wars. There's so many plot holes in the sequel trilogy. It makes the prequels look like, Shakespeare, okay? And I remember when everybody frowned on the prequels because of Jar Jar Binks, okay? But those people were eating the words once the sequel trilogy ended, okay? I think everybody now pities Jar Jar Binks and realizes they've sort of been so harsh towards the character. Given the fact that the sequel trilogy has so many horrible characters. Kylo Ren, Rey, as well, even though Rey is pretty, but she's still not a very interesting character. Of course, you had Admiral Holdo, Rose Tico, L337, which was in Solo or Star Wars Story, as well. And no, Baby Yoda did not save Star Wars because Baby Yoda is still in the bin with all the Star Wars characters because young kids don't care about Star Wars. Star Wars fans don't care about Star Wars, okay? You couldn't get young people to like Star Wars. I don't really care for Star Wars anymore. I don't ever think of Star Wars that much, okay? I don't ever think, what I think about every single day is, Star Wars. Okay, I'm going to talk about think about how great Star Wars is. Okay, no, I don't think about that. Same thing of Marvel. Okay, I didn't play Marvel Rivals. That's the reason why. And it's more than just Emma Frost having big breaks. It's because I don't really care for Marvel, okay, anymore. Because Disney ruled Marvel that much. I think Marvel Rivals would still be one of the biggest games in the world if Disney didn't rule Marvel. I am being that serious. I think Marvel Rivals would still have 400,000 players, considering how the universal appeal Marvel movies tended to have as well. Okay, it's just Disney ruined these two IPs. That's why you love it now. Okay, Fantastic Four was a massive flop. Okay, Thunderbolts was a massive flop. Okay, Brave New World, massive flop. 2023, almost all Marvel movies released that year were massive flops besides Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Okay, 2022 and 2021, underperformances than here. Here. But that's about this video here. Goodbye.